What's up, everybody? Sean the D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. We are back with our episode 5 review of Daredevil Born Again. In this video, they're going to be technically two separate videos, but I'm doing episode 5 now, and then episode 6 in this same video. So I decided just to split them up that way instead of just watching them both and then trying to remember both episodes. So I watched episode 5, doing the recording now, and then after this, it'll jump immediately into the episode 6 review. So episode 5 review of Daredevil Born Again. As of right now, as a whole, this series is I think they got cocky with this whole slow burn kind of play that they're doing with the series, because I have seen, obviously, unless you're like a complete, you don't necessarily care as much, but I'm just not really impressed with the series as a whole right now, and I was very disappointed because I enjoyed the first three seasons of the Netflix Daredevil version. But it just seems like this one, it just has not lived up to my expectations. I expected it to be a little bit better. I mean, I don't think it was going to be as good as the Netflix series version, but I didn't think it was going to be this level of, not, I guess boring would be one way to put it, but it's just very disinterested at times. We get these slow burn episodes, not much action. Stories okay with me. I'm not like hating on the story, but it just definitely feels like this could have been done a little bit better. And I think that's why they dropped 2 episodes, because I don't think this was originally supposed to be 2 episodes, but they dropped 2 episodes because potentially people may be losing interest in this series. We have yet to really get back into. It feels like one of those series where, well, the way to put it is like we're seeing Matt Murdock just slowly morph back into his Daredevil persona, but it's kind of such a bore, and I'm not a really huge fan with the whole Kingpin, Vanessa therapy subplot and all that, and I just really was not all that interested in it, to be quite honest. But needless to say, episode 5, this is basically a bottle episode. It takes place in one location. Matt is going to see about getting a loan, or I believe, for an extension on the loan for his firm and everything. Kamala Khan's dad is in the series. He works at the bank here. We do get some drops of the Kamala Khan, because he says that he's talking about Jersey City, how we have our own little superhero, Miss Marvel, has a little Funko Pop over, and she apparently is in California visiting friends, potentially Young Avengers type thing, maybe, unless they just threw that in there. But this whole episode revolves around a bank heist of a very good looking diamond. But that's basically it. Obviously, the heist is going down to get a diamond to get to Luca, who is one of King. Well, I guess I don't know if it's Kingpin's men or Vanessa's men, to be quite honest. But it's like the payoff a loan to the other guy, because remember earlier in the episode, maybe 2 or 3, the British guy that works for Kingpin goes and delivers a check to one of the guys after the mess up of the truck robbery at the docks. And so, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I don't really know how to really put this episode. It's just a bottle episode. Like, that's virtually it. Like it was just there. Like, obviously it's for the boss, obviously for Luca, who's the boss. I don't know. That's really it. There's really nothing special about the episode, to be quite honest. It's just there. Like, Well, I mean, we do find out that one of the women who were a hostage turns out to be on the same team as the bank robbers. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Now we do see Matt like take out two of the guards or two of the heist the robbers, and we finally get the scene that we saw in the trailer where he breaks somebody's leg, and it was one of the men who was dressed as a police officer to hide his escape out of the bank. It's when the police came in. We also got the detective Kim, who was in episode one, was Cherry cheering on his retirement and things. She shows back up here. I actually forgot about her, to be quite honest. And it's just whole thing with the Devlin, what's his name, the Irishman. Is just like, you know what? Tell me a joke, and or I'll start killing hostages, or just some some bank robber shenanigans. And so she tells, I guess it was a good joke. I don't really have Irish humor, so I wouldn't really know if it was a good joke or not. Um, I'm trying to think if there was really anything else. Virtually, that was kind of it. Uh, yeah, yeah. It's actually kind of sad because that's relatively it. There was like nothing else. I don't think this was a long episode. This was, how long was this? Is about, oh, it's about 40 minutes, 42 minutes. So not a very long episode. Or I think it's like, man, that may be the shortest of the ones that we have watched. Let me see. Episode one was an hour. I mean, if we're including credits, episode one was an hour. Episode two, 50 minutes. Episode three, 47. Episode four, 55 minutes. 42 minutes, 45 minutes. Okay. So episode six is, so these about, other than episode one and episode four, these have all been relatively short episodes. So I guess if you want to count 40 minutes, 50 minutes of that short. But other than that, I mean, that's honestly it. That's really all I can say. That's all this episode was. It was just basically a bank heist, and Matt goes to do the right thing, protect the civilians from the heist and everything. But that's virtually it. There was nothing else that happened. It felt like more of a filler episode than just a traditional episode. Like, this really did nothing to like advance the plot. It was just the only thing plot related is the whole thing with you know the mob, not mob leaders. I don't think they're mob leaders, but like the gang leaders who are working for Vanessa before Fisk showed back up. They're having a little spat with each other, and that's virtually it. But I don't know how I really feel about this episode. And this was the thing I was talking about at the beginning. It's like, it just all seems kind of boring. Like, I sat here watching it, and I was just kind of like, just going through the episode. There was really nothing special about it. So, I mean, at least that's just me. And that's the thing. It's like these five episodes so far. I would say episode one is palatable. I don't think there's an episode that really stands out to me. Maybe episode four, but the only thing about episode four I liked was the Frank Castle and Matt Murdock scene. That was relatively it. Outside of that, none of these episodes have really been impressive to me. Like, there's just been blah, you know. I don't know. I don't know. But that's episode five. Just a short bank heist is what we got. So yay, I guess. But all right, that's pretty much gonna be it for episode five. We had a bank heist, and that's all I had. There was nothing really else special about it. So that kind of sucks. But all right, that's pretty much it, guys. Episode five review. Stick around. We're gonna jump into episode six review. Maybe that will be a little better. We will definitely see. And I will see you guys in a second. What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here. Welcome in to episode 6 review of Daredevil Born Again. I hope you guys are ready to jump into this episode. And this is kind of the episode that I have been waiting for since this series started. Ever since we got through the first 5 episodes, just felt like something was missing. Just didn't feel like a lot of it was just boring. The slow burn, and I mentioned it in the part 5 review. My issues with it's like the slow burn of the series. It's not a good slow burn because it doesn't keep me really all that interested compared to, like, let's say a show like Andor. Even though that is a slow burn, the stuff in that series actually keeps me interested and invested. Episode 6, very much happy to see it. Um, so with episode 6, we got both Matt and Wilson letting their personas out. We got Matt letting the Daredevil persona out, Wilson letting the Kingpin persona out. So a lot of it kind of kicks off with, not necessarily with, but like Muse has obviously been abducting people throughout the city. Um, Upwards of 60 people, it sounds like that has been killing and draining of their blood, because a lot of the murals that we see throughout these episodes, like for instance the Punisher one with the triggered, the Wilson Fisk one, and then a few others that pop up, the sanitation people try to power wash it off. When it come to find out it's blood, it's human blood. They were able to do DNA analysis and things like that, and just believed that up to 60 people uh 60 people have gone missing, or like there's 60 I'm trying to think how they worded it. Like the blood samples that they contain belong to different, like 60 different people. I guess basically the same thing I just said. And so we even see a small, like a little clips of like Muse is working and these two girls come up. Now I am very interested, like how do they, like, for number one, how did these two women know his name was Muse? How did Wilson get the name Muse? My understanding, at least unless somebody can tell me in the comment section, I don't remember seeing at any point the name Muse being like, spray paint, like him putting his signature on. I didn't see anything like that, so I'm curious on like how they know his name was Muse, unless they just know him as like a known graffiti artist. And so Wilson puts together a task force. This is his anti-vigilante task force. Now, I believe I talked about it in episode 4 last week. Potentially, there's stuff circulating that in season 2 of Daredevil, Matt is going to put together a team of like vigilantes to take on the anti-vigilante group. So that could we be seeing that, because Wilson goes in, like Officer Powell. Wilson goes and brings in basically the corrupt cops, guys who aren't afraid to get the job done. People who like who will bend the rule to get the job done. We got a guy, Officer Cole, I believe his name was talking about how he saw a guy giving 11-year-old drugs, and guy flat out denied it. And the way he put it, he persuade the guy to tell the truth, that he did it. His police captain didn't like it, and it is what it is. Now he's in New York. And then we also have an interesting scene, because we see Jack again from the Hawkeye series. So we have an interesting scene where Fisk is the mayor, but he doesn't have the power that he once did, and we see that in this scene where he's kind of like meet and greeting all the money people, to raise money for this project. And also, not only that, we also see it with Luca, who just shows up to his office and basically just like, Fisk, you're out of the game. You're too old for the game. Yada yada yada. And this rhetoric is like, they don't fear the Kingpin as they once did. Because like even remember in the first season of the Daredevil series, like you don't say his name, or in this instance, or like because like with the Daredevil series for Netflix, it was like it's the fear is striking the fear of God in you, and I think that's what's missing for Wilson in this season is he doesn't have that kingpin power and that kingpin fear as he once did, and you kind of just see it the way people talk to him at this fundraiser. You see it the way Luca talks to him when he shows up at his office, and we looks like he is returning to that form because later in the episode he just goes ham on Adam. He gives him an axe to potentially take a swing, and he was just straight up knocking the guy halfway across the room and just barely left him alive, it looks like. So that was so it looks like we are getting the kingpin back. Like it is interesting that we're getting this like with 3 episodes left of the season, but I digress. Now to the Matt Murdock side of things, where Cherry comes to let Matt know that he got a tip from one of his friends on the force that probably Detective Kim, if I had to guess. I don't remember if they said the name or not, but Detective Kim, if I had to guess, that there's a serial killer on the loose. Upwards to 60 people have gone missing, and obviously you could see the look on Matt's face, and Cherry's like, Matt, you got to let this go. Let the police handle it. That's kind of a little iffy right there because it's not like Matt has been going out and being Daredevil. Like he hasn't been Daredevil for over a year. It's not like now if he was like going out and doing it, getting back into the habit of it or something like that, I could potentially see Cherry saying that. But Matt hasn't been Daredevil for over a year, and you're like, let the police handle it. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe when they originally had like the 12, 13, 14 episodes, there was something in between there that led up to that kind of conversation. Maybe I'm not sure, but I'm just not entirely sure. But needless to say, because we get Angela, how did you say it? I forgot how to say it. Ayala. I'm probably going to butcher it. I would definitely would say they should have aged her up a little bit because obviously she's going to become the next White Tiger. I thought maybe they would have like aged, maybe brought in a little bit older actress, like because she looks like she's maybe in like late middle school or early high school potentially. I don't know because I honestly don't know if we'll see this character again in future projects. There's really no telling. But needless to say, she goes to Matt and just like, Hector was looking into something. Because he was like tracking a pattern of people going missing near this rail station, and it's just like this whole thing was like, I can't go to the cops. They killed Hector, and she's just throwing it back in Matt's face. It's like, do something, something like that. But then he suits up. He suits up. We do get to see him again. We see him like because Angela's mom, or maybe not her mom. Maybe it was her mom. She calls Matt. It's like Angela is not home. She's worried, and Matt was like, okay, look, we'll find her and things like that. And he calls the police at first, and he's just like, forget it. He goes, suits up, finally let the devil out, and he tracks down Muse, had captured Angela, and I really like the little scene where Muse looks out and he sees the subway train going by, and it's just like as he just continues to look and it continues to like take shape, we see somebody running at him. We get Daredevil zooming in, a little CGI here and there. It looked like it didn't look that great, but um, definitely, the fight scene was pretty good. Um, Muse was surprisingly able to like hold his own for the most part. Obviously, Matt was able to beat him in the end, and Muse escaped. But he definitely got a few hits on Matt for sure. Um, but then ultimately, Muse escapes. He saves Angela, and yeah, Daredevil's back. I wonder how Wilson's going to react to that when like news cameras or not news cameras, but like somebody's like, Daredevil saved me, that kind of thing. And I do like this the watching both Daredevil fight Muse and Wilson fight Adam, because I do kind of enjoyed that, because both of these characters were basically letting their inner demons out and just going crazy. Matt with Muse, and then Wilson with Adam, and pretty good episode. Pretty good episode. Not perfect, but it satisfied me enough. But it doesn't really satisfy me to like have to wait through 5 episodes. I guess if you want to take out episode 1, because we do get the early fight scene with Bullseye early on in episode 1, but really episode 2, 3, 4, and 5, I don't really think it warrants a slow burn to lead up to episode 6. So it is. So right, I would definitely say right now, even though it's not perfect, episode 6 is probably the better episode of the series so far. The better episode, but I still say episode 4 had the best scene of the series between Matt and Frank. But we'll see. We still got 3 episodes left, and then we're done with the series. So we'll definitely have to just wait and see how things play out in that regards. But that is pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to do both episodes 5 and 6 and just give you my thoughts about it. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below. Tell me what you thought about the series as a whole. Tell me what you thought about episodes 5 and 6. We'd love to hear your thoughts. But other than that, guys, stay safe, have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.